and she thought she could control the whole neighborhood. She thought stealing his packages would remind him he didn't belong there. But what she didn't see coming was a box that fought back, and inside that box was something that would leave her humiliated for weeks. This is the story of the HOA president who messed with the wrong man and paid the price. This isn't just a story about stolen packages. This is about power, race, and what happens when someone decides the rules don't apply to them, but only to you. It's about how one black man named Preston Mallory found himself battling not just porch piracy, but a homeowners association president who thought she was above the law. And when the system refused to protect him, Preston came up with his own plan. A plan involving a skunk, a fake package, and one unforgettable neighborhood showdown. Preston Mallory had worked his whole life for this moment. He wasn't rich, he wasn't flashy, but he had finally saved enough to buy a townhouse in a suburban Illinois community. Moving in should have been the start of peace. Instead, it was the start of surveillance. Within days, he noticed something strange. The packages he ordered, the small things you need when you move in, never showed up. He'd get the delivery confirmation texts. He'd check outside. Nothing. At first, he thought maybe the driver left them at the wrong unit. So he walked around, knocked on doors, asked the neighbors politely. That's when one neighbor said something that stuck with him. "You might want to check with the HOA president." And that's when the problem got a name. Her real name doesn't matter, because everyone knows exactly what kind of person she was. Karen. She was the HOA president, and she wore that title like a crown. Every rule was her rule. Every minor detail was her battlefield. Your grass to her. You'd hear from her. Your trash out too long? A warning letter. Your car slightly crooked? A fine. And Preston, being the new black homeowner in a mostly white neighborhood, he was an easy target. But this went beyond fines and letters. She was bold enough to walk up to his porch in daylight, pick up his boxes, and strut away like she was untouchable. He knew it wasn't random theft. It was targeted. So Preston did what anyone tired of being pushed around would do. He set up cameras, and within days, he caught her. Crystal clear footage of the HOA president, the so-called protector of the neighborhood, stealing his deliveries. Now here's where things got complicated. Reporting her wasn't a guaranteed win. HOA boards stick together. They protect their own and the local police. Let's be real, who do you think they believe? The longtime HOA president or the new black guy in the neighborhood? Preston knew the odds, so he decided to take matters into his own hands. This wasn't about revenge for one stolen box. This was about sending a message. You don't get to walk all over me. Preston had an old friend who worked in animal control, and one conversation later, he had his idea. He bought a humane trap. He set up a decoy package big enough to catch attention, and inside the package, he placed one very irritated skunk. It wasn't dangerous. The trap was safe. The skunk wouldn't be harmed, but the moment Karen tried to lift the box, the latch would spring and she'd get a spray she would never forget. And that's exactly what happened. The next afternoon, Karen strutted up to Preston's doorstep like she had a right to be there. She looked around, bent down, and grabbed the box. And the second she lifted it, chaos. The skunk exploded out, spraying with precision. Her scream echoed down the street. She dropped the box, stumbled back, gagging, clawing at her clothes. Neighbors came out, phones came out, and in one instant, the untouchable HOA president became the neighborhood clown. But if you think that was the end of it, you're wrong, because Karen wasn't the type to admit defeat. And what happened next dragged Preston into meetings, threats, and almost a legal nightmare. And if you think the skunk was wild, wait until you hear how she tried to spin this story at the HOA board. Karen marched straight into an emergency HOA meeting, clothes still faintly reeking of skunk. She accused Preston of endangering the community, of setting a trap, of violating HOA bylaws. But Preston didn't come empty-handed. He brought the footage, every clip of her stealing his boxes, over and over again. Now here's the thing about power. When you've abused it long enough, you start thinking you can lie your way through anything. Karen tried to claim she was protecting the neighborhood from suspicious packages. But the video told a different story, and the smell on her clothes told the rest. Neighbors started whispering, then laughing, then siding with Preston for once. The HOA president wasn't in control. She was the joke, and Preston, he was the man who stood up for himself and didn't let the system bury him. Now here's where the story gets even bigger. Because Preston's not alone. Across the country, Hours have been at the center of some of the pettiest, nastiest conflicts you can imagine. Take one case in Texas. A black family painted their house a slightly different shade of brown than their approved palette. The HOA fined them daily hundreds of dollars when they refused to repaint. The HOA filed to foreclose on their home, all over a paint color, or another in Florida, where an elderly black veteran put up a small American flag in his front yard. The HOA claimed it violated regulations. They demanded he remove it. When he refused, they threatened legal action against a man who literally served the country. Stories like these show just how much power hoers can have and how easily the power gets abused. So when Preston's prank went viral, people across the country cheered because it wasn't just funny, it was justice. Justice for everyone who's ever been targeted, harassed, or treated like they don't belong in their own neighborhood. Now let's step back. Was it risky? Yes. Could it have gone wrong? Absolutely. But what choice did Preston really have? Go to the cops and risk being ignored or worse, blamed? File a complaint with the HOA and let them bury it? Sometimes, when the system is stacked against you, the only option left is to make your own justice. And Preston's skunk prank wasn't just about the smell. It was about making sure the truth couldn't be hidden, that everyone in that neighborhood saw, smelled, and remembered exactly who the real thief was. Do you think Preston went too far? Was it clever justice or reckless escalation? And what would you have done in his situation? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm curious how you'd handle a Karen running your neighborhood. In the end, Preston didn't just get his packages back. He got respect. He got proof that standing up for yourself, even in a system designed to silence you, can flip the script. And Karen, let's just say she'll never pick up another package again without checking twice. Subscribe if you got value from this video. A small village. A cat named Whiskers discovered a magic fish in a pond. The fish promised 3 wishes in exchange for its freedom. Whiskers wished for endless fish, a cozy bed, and a bell that rang softly. The fish granted all 3 wishes and swam away, leaving Whiskers content and purring